So we're joined from the beautiful Destin, Florida. She's on vacation. Thank you so much for joining us by certified personal trainer, former law enforcement officer, Charlotte Brisco. I've got a room full here with me at Velma Jackson High School. We're in the Education Training Career Cluster, and we're recording this for all of our friends in Madison County Schools. Rosa Scott, Madison Central, Ridgeland High School, Germantown High School, the Academic Options Center, and our YouTube channel. So thank you for taking some time for us on your vacation.
You are so welcome. I'm so glad to be here, Greg. And happy
Now,
Monday morning to you all.
tell me about it. Now, just give us a little background. You went to Clinton High School, you went to Jackson State, and were a law enforcement officer for 13 years. So just take us through that process.
So, like you said, I graduated from Clemson, class of '01. So I wanted to be the next Maggie Wade, and we all love her, of course. But I realized I did not want to be in front of the camera every day. So, and I wanted to do like investigative journalism. So, that was my interest at the time. So, again, I didn't want to be in front of the camera every day. I realized that. So, um, and I also realized that I wanted hands-on. I love hands-on everything. So that is why I said, well, hey, if I want the hands-on, the real world experience, see it firsthand, might as well just, go the law enforcement route, and I do not regret it at all. I have enjoyed the 13 years, and I actually kind of got out of law enforcement by default. But I'm a mom right now, and that there's first priority. So, but hey, you never know what the future brings. But I do work full time, and I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. And I know that you love the law enforcement aspect, but the last 2 years you moved into being a certified personal trainer. And you have some great
Yeah.
videos online, and we've looked at some of those great workout videos. And you talk about some things I think are important because, like I said, we're doing an assignment right now where they're actually writing PE lesson plans for certain age groups, and you have different exercises for certain age groups, different things that people may have injuries. So, first of all, tell us how you become a certified personal trainer because it's not just show up at the gym. Hey, I know how to work out. Do what I say.
Right. So I've actually been working out for actually since I was 19. My dad introduced me to the gym, and I really just fell in love with it then. So I guess my whole life I've been just really enjoyed the physical aspect of things. But in order to become a personal trainer, legit certified personal trainer, you will have to obtain a accredited personal trainer certification. I'm certified through the ISSA. And so there are other organizations that you can get certified through. NASM is another well-known one. And so that would be the very first step. And so that's that in order to have a lifelong career, whether you plan to do this full time or um, on the side, as I do. Again, I work full time, so but I love fitness, and so it's always been a passion of mine. But I knew I had to get that certification if I wanted to train clients. I mean, for a very long time, I've had people, want to train with me. And I just did not feel comfortable, to each his own, but I just do not agree with training people, and you don't have the credentials to go along with it. I mean, it's just like a doctor performing surgery and you've never been to medical school. That's just how I view it. I don't judge anybody for what they do to make their money, but that's how I feel. And so once I got that certification, I was able to say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm ready for you."
Yeah, and that gives you the credentials to build a business and to build a clientele because even though you are on the side, you still have you've been building your clientele for 2 years and you have the videos. And like I said, you've given kind of tips for certain age groups, certain injuries, certain body types. So I think a big part of this that is overlooked is the customer service and communication aspect. Because you can be a workout warrior, you can be the most in shape person in the world, but if you can't meet your customers' needs or your clients' needs, you're not going to be successful at this. So as somebody that's gotten into this in the last couple of years, everybody's not going to have the same body type as you. Everybody's not going to have the same frame. Everybody's not going to have the same needs. So how is it that you come up with the workout plans and the exercises for certain clients?
So, as you mentioned, everybody will not be the same. I have trained clients um, across the board as far as, height, weight, age. Um, but I do only train women. And that's just my personal preference. But again, everybody enters their fitness journey at their own level. And so I my goal is to meet you where you are and talk to you, find out what your current fitness level is, what injuries you may have, any medical, health issues. Those are always important. Injuries, and then of course what your goals are, short-term goals, long-term goals. And so those are all important when I am uh whether I meet someone or they want to train with me.
Absolutely. And I think that skill is so overlooked because when it comes to any type of client, whether it's personal training or not, that I think I can speak for every teacher that'll see this, that if you cannot communicate with clients, not only talking and demonstrating, but listening, knowing what they need, knowing what's available to them, knowing any type of health history, you're not going to be very successful in this area.
Right. So you definitely have to communicate with communication is key. On a daily level, even when you're training them on a daily level. We all, clients will come in different moods, may have had a bad day or maybe aching in a certain area. And those are all things that, I always build that rapport every time I don't believe in just going straight into the workout. Okay, here's what we're going to do. You got to do it, because even in the midst of what I may have already have planned for their workout for the day, for their regimen, their body may not be in sync with that. So even
Yeah.
in that moment, I will have to I have to alter the workout. If if their knee is bothering them that day, and I may have lunges on, on the menu. Am I echoing? Sorry.
No,
Am I
no, you're fine.
okay? Okay. Then that may be something. If I have lunges planned, that may be something that may not be conducive for them that day. I may have to go to something that doesn't involve a lot of knee exercises. So yeah.
Now, and something else you've done, and I know you're not trying to make a lot of money off this, but you've gotten kind of an online presence in some of your videos, and we got a chance to look at those because you really are about educating potential clients and people that are interested in working out and different workouts. And we have so many kids that say, "I want to be an influencer. I'm going to be online. I'm going to make a ton of money." And it's not just let's turn on a camera and count the dollars. So as somebody that makes content, and I know it's workout content, how difficult is that actually to get right? Because I don't think people realize how difficult it is to get that correct when it comes to posting content.
So yeah, I mean, you know, again, I'm not sure. So my goal ultimately is to build a bigger online presence for training clients because, like I said, as a mom, as a wife, and still working full time, I don't have any immediate plans or anything to quit my full time job. But again, fitness is my passion, and I still want to be able to reach women who want to transform their lives and who want to, um, train with me or just get in shape or, you know, um, feel better about themselves and, whatever their goal may be. So, online training is going to be that key. And you know, you know, building an online presence is not like you said, just creating content. There's um a science behind it, a method to the madness, and that is actually what I am planning on getting into, the digital marketing. That's the thing now. And so I'm doing my own research. I am um delving into that area so that I can better understand what what I need to do to build my own brand. And so that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Digital marketing, building your own brand, cater to you. Um, because honestly, if you're just making videos and posting them, you will gain some traction, but it probably, if you're wanting to, make money out of this and be lucrative or whatever, or just, as a side hustle, you're going to have to be able to reach people. And there is a method to that. Uh, websites, creating websites, knowing how to use Instagram and all the social media outlets, Facebook, TikTok, in order to gain your traction. I mean, like I said, these are just things I'm learning. And so I plan on implementing those so that I can reach a broader audience long term.
Yeah, and something else you do that I think you do so great at is you make it about the holistic of the person because you have videos about these exercises can help with your mental health. They can help. You have a great video about how exercise can help depression, and it really is not just about making muscles stronger and ligaments stronger. It is about training the whole person. So how has that approach helped you in being a great trainer?
So, that's a good point you made, and I'm glad you made it because exercising, working out isn't just about, well, to it's subjective to each person what they want their outcome to be. But I would say that, the more long-term uh results that comes from working out is better mental health. Um, when you work out and you're done, you endorphins, that's your body's own chemical reaction to I feel good. I feel, I mean, it's science, it's automatic. People, I hear people say all the time that, oh my gosh, I was so tired going into the gym, but now I feel energized. I feel better. Even if you were tired going into working out, once you're done, your body's reaction to that is going to be that you feel better because that's just how it works. And so, I try to, um, uh, my goal as a trainer is to teach you not only form and make sure that I'm giving you exercises to do that's going to be catered to your own body and needs, but also for you to take away that, this is helping me to feel more confident. um
Absolutely.
my mental health is improving, and I just feel good about myself. A lot of people who are dealing with mental issues, depression, anything like that, the gym is their outlet. I mean, I have to get to the gym. If I don't get to the gym, you know at least several times a week, I feel like I'm about to go crazy because it's like my therapy. I mean, it's my therapy. I mean, I have a child, I work, I'm married, so I have to have an outlet myself, and the gym is that. It's where I just let everything go, even if it's for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. That's it.
Absolutely. Well, before I get to their questions, we would be absolutely remiss if we did not talk about the work you do in the autism advocacy community here in the Jackson area. I know it's very important to you, and I think it's something that isn't talked about enough. Me and you're about the same age, and I can tell you when we were growing up, it was something that was not talked about. And unfortunately, you see people in the tabloid media try to say that it's a crutch and that it's made up, and that is so far from the truth because we may have some young people that have been diagnosed with autism. They may have family members that are diagnosed with autism, and it is something very important to talk about. And it's and not only the acceptance, but the advocacy and the accommodations that need to be made. So, just talk about the work you've done and why it's so important to understand that their uh, acceptance of this is so vital in our community.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Greg. Because so my son, I have a 5-year-old. He does have autism, and so that's another passion of mine. And so like you said, it's all in the news media now, and I just feel that it's important not only to advocate, but to for the people. Hey, myself as a mother, autism mom, I understand the struggle. I understand. I have someone with autism, but to the masses who may not understand what autism is, or who may not know someone who's affected by it, all of this. All the extra noise about autism, whether it's a disease or not, or whether people are born with it, whatever the case may be. I think the takeaway is that everyone is different, and we have to treat everyone um, you know with kindness, with love. And so my goal is to um, you know educate others that everyone is not the same. Acceptance, inclusion, those are all things that as an advocate, I advocate for. My goal is not to change my son, um, but to show the world that, hey, there are ways to include people that may be like him. Or, autism doesn't have a look. That's the other thing, and that's why it's called a spectrum, because it what we may think what one person may think autism looks like, it looks totally different for someone else. And I think sometimes that's the misinformation, is that people think autism should look a certain way, and it does not. And so, and on that note, you know, physical fitness is, there have been studies where exercise, fine tuning, honing on your fine motor skills, exercising, physical activity actually, plays a role and helps in that area with autism. So, even with my son, I plan on when I try to be as physical with him as possible. Doing soccer with him, taking the soccer, exercise, and going outside. All those things are good for their sensory issues and things like that.
Yeah, and I just encourage anybody if we have any young people that have been diagnosed or they have family members, it really is important to find resources. There's all types of free resources. There's all types of communities that are very accepting and trying to find places like that for everyone to not only to find their place in society, but find their place in a social group. It is so important, and all the great
Mhm.
work you do for that is amazing. But I do have some questions from the students, and I love this first one. This is Janila Carter. She's in ninth grade, and she asks, "How would you describe your coaching style when it comes to fitness?"
Hey there, Janila. So that's an interesting. I love that question too. My coaching style. I would consider myself a pretty intense trainer. Um, I'm just thinking back on, moments I've had with clients, and just how the regimen is pretty intense. So I believe in intensity, and that is important when you're training clients. You definitely want intensity, but again, cater to their needs. So I would consider myself not a cookie cutter trainer. I I look at the program and see, um, where we are now, how far we've come, if they've gotten stronger. And so we constantly move from there. Uh, Anyone who's interested in this field, you hear about progressive overload, and that's an important key term, excuse me, because you definitely want to um, get stronger, And it's not just that, it's also about mobility, you know,
Yeah,
flexibility, all those things. So you're building muscle, but you're also building mental strength as well.
absolutely. I like this one. This is Derek Dozier. He's in ninth grade, one of our football players here. And he asked, what do you do to keep your clients motivated?
Hey, Derek. So again, I had mentioned earlier how I continue to build a rapport even on a daily basis. And I mean, you definitely, you know, you don't want to, so you definitely want to keep your clients motivated by, if they meet a new PR, a new personal rep, say, last time they were doing um uh, a set squats or something, and they're now they this time that you set a goal for them to increase their weight, and they did that, and they were able to do that, along with your guidance. If they meet that new goal that you had set for them, you definitely want to encourage them and tell them, good job, great job, keep doing it, keep doing what you're doing at home, keeping your protein up, getting good sleep. So whatever they're doing, to encourage them to keep doing that. But hey, there may come a time where you see that they may be struggling, or whatever the case may be. Then you want to address, how are things, with your sleep, your stress level, all those things play a role in, you know, how a client may progress in the program. So I try to keep clients motivated by being genuinely encouraging to them. It's not just every time good job, good job, good job, but
Yeah,
definitely when they meet those high points, you definitely want to address that.
absolutely. I like this one. This is Callista Brown. She's in ninth grade. And she's like, she asked, you work in fitness, and obviously you're just in the local area now as a part-time job, but is this something you would want to travel to other states and other countries doing?
Hey, Callista, did I say her name right?
Yep.
Okay. No, I don't have an interest in traveling. That's why I want to do the online training, because I'm a mom, a wife, I work full time, and I have other um ventures in life, but traveling is not something that I desire because it takes up more of my time. Um, and other people, they do that. A lot of people do that, and that's awesome, but that's just not a goal of mine.
Yeah, because there are personal trainers that travel all over the world and get paid a lot of money. So this is
Yeah.
something, if you really can find your niche, it can be very lucrative. I
Hmm.
got time for two more. This is Zerial Snow. She's in ninth grade, one of our cheerleaders. And she asked, have you ever had a time where you couldn't help a client?
There's area. Um, not so far. I don't think so. I think it was more of just the client ultimately deciding if they wanted to train with me or not. But I haven't had an issue where I could not help someone, but that's why we constantly assess um their where they are as we go along in the program, and see if they're getting stronger, and things like that. So, um, no, I think I've had a pretty good success with being able to help people, my clients in the past.
Awesome. I got one more. This is Tredarius Quinn. He's a member of our band. And he asked, what's the biggest challenge you have faced as a trainer?
Hey, Darius. Biggest challenge is, I guess that's a good question. Maybe just making sure that I'm doing everything that I can to, um, sometimes, clients don't always articulate what may be
Yeah.
going on with them, with their bodies. Sometimes they may keep it to themselves because they don't want to stop training with you, but they kind of hold on to keep that quiet as far as what's going on with them, maybe body wise or whatever. So I guess one of my challenges has just been to try to not necessarily build. The challenge isn't to build a rapport, but to get to the bottom of, what may be, you know, keeping them from, doing a certain exercise or just figuring out, okay, well, what's next for them? How can we alter things or change things so that they can um, continue meeting their goals, continue this level of, confidence that they've already built. And so basically just constantly being able to tweak their program so that I can meet them where they are, and we can be in sync together, and they can have success, and I can continue to help them as a trainer. So um, I think that would be it.
Absolutely. Well, we're almost out of time, and we thank you so much for joining us, especially on your vacation. But a couple things before we go. First of all, your Instagram, CC Brisk Fit. That's CECEBRISK Fit. Great content on there, just really, really interesting. And even if somebody isn't a workout warrior, it has a lot of basic stuff on there and a lot of nuggets for you. So I want to make sure I got that IG handle right.
You did, and I just posted a video this morning. I did the mud girl run this past weekend here in Florida. So that was awesome.
That's awesome. Now, the last thing before we go, even if kids are not interested in being a personal trainer, one thing that I think is not talked about enough for our young people, especially here in Mississippi, is the importance of physical health and mental health. Simple things like what we eat. Just staying active. So, as somebody that has made fitness part of your everyday life, why is fitness so important to start thinking about now to prevent further health problems down the road?
That's a good point. You know, we talk about preventive preventive measures, preventive health healthy to prevent all of these health issues from coming. So you want to take preventive steps like start eating right. Those are just simple things that you can just do on a daily basis. Choose chicken over beef, or substitute a donut for a protein shake. There has to be a level of discipline implemented in order to make these lifestyle changes. It may not come overnight, but little by little, week by week, day by day, these things will help to improve your health, because when people go to the doctor and they get on medicine, a lot of times that's so unnecessary, but that's when they want to make the change. But sometimes it may be too late, sometimes it's not. But preventive measures is the key to better health. And unfortunately, we do have one of the highest levels of obesity in Mississippi. But I'm a strong believer that is so preventable, so
Yeah.
preventable. Yeah, even if it started, in growing up, how we eat, it can be changed.
Yeah, and I'm far from an expert, but I haven't had a soda in 8 years, and it is amazing
Good
how much better I.
job.
So
Yeah, definitely.
just something simple like that can be very helpful. And I'm not saying that I'm got the perfect eater, but again, something simple like that, I don't miss it, and I feel great. So
Definitely.
starting somewhere like there could be great.
Yes, definitely. Water for soda, or cut back your sodas, all those things, And hey, we have, like I said, we're in the age of digital marketing, AI. Get on Chat GBT and just, type in, hey, what are what can I, what can I eat healthy for today? Or what can I substitute this for? Or hey, give me a healthy meal plan for the week or something. If you don't know what healthy is, just ask Chat GBT or one of those.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you get back to your vacation. And again, CC Briskfit on Instagram, Charlotte Brisco. We thank you so much for joining us today.
You're so welcome. Y'all have an awesome day.
All right, talk to you soon, buddy.
Thank you. Bye bye.